She was like a dream, literally. Like, what is that on me? Did I just get pooped on by a bird? I just got pooped on. All right, we're just gonna try to keep my hair uninvolved and get that off of me with a leaf. I'm just gonna, that's gross. Okay, we're gonna pretend like that didn't just happen. And it wasn't even a chicken. Yes, I went and changed shirts. I couldn't stand it. I do not want bird poop in my hair. I never know what's gonna happen around here. So we're gonna start over. What is going on, chicken friends? It's Donna Little from the Coop Scoop, and today is the first day that we are going to start introducing, with no barrier between them, my pullets to my older hens. And this is, for me, a process, and I want to take you guys step by step through what I do. Now, I know there are a million different ways to go about this, but I feel like that if you just take things slowly and you're patient, you will really set your flock up, the littles and the bigs, up for success instead of failure. Because I'm in a lot of different groups, chicken groups, and I see people all the time saying, you know, oh my gosh, you know, I was told to just, you know, sneak my young pullets in at night on the roost, and I came out and found one of them just bloodied or dead, or you know, a bunch of them have their feathers plucked out of them. They're huddled in the corner, terrified. What did I do wrong? Chickens aren't stupid, and they're not going to be fooled most of the time. There may be some, but I can assure you, if there was a new chicken in there, they would know. Every single one of them would know there was a new chicken in there, and especially if you're not doing the best that you can to level the playing field. So if you take some 4-week-old little youngsters and you stick them in there overnight and there's only 6 of them and you've got 20 hens, it's not going to go well. I can assure you it is not going to go well. So here are the things that I do to set my flocks, both of them, up for success. I get these little youngsters out in the coop as early as I can, but in a brooder so they're safe. Now if you watch my channel, you've seen my setup. I have a 6-foot by 6-foot brooder pen that I always use, and this time, because I was able to, because I have done some changes to my coop, I was able to add on to that and give the youngsters their own really, really nice space. But I don't let them meet each other face to face until they're about 10 weeks old. This will be the first time that they have been together without any sort of barrier between them. And the reason for that is, when they're little, they're at a disadvantage. It's a size disadvantage, it's a strength disadvantage, and they're also at a disadvantage because there's not as many of them as there are the hens. So you never want to just throw them together. It might be a little bit different if you're down to 1 hen and you know the rest of your flock has passed away and you decided you want to add. You might be able to do this a little bit sooner. I'm just going to tell you how I do things, and it has always worked, and I've done it a whole bunch of times. So I start from the time they're little bitty. As soon as I can get them out, they're in the coop, hanging out near the big girls. They have to walk past them every single day, and you'll be probably surprised at how uninterested your hens are. They might stop by and check them out and look in there, but for the most part, they're just going to go on with their day. Now, I know not everybody can free range, but I'm sure you have a run of some sort. As soon as weather is permitting and they're maybe a little bit older, you're going to want to maybe set them up a little area, a little pen or something where they can be outside, where they can be in the run where your chickens are going to be, or free range, and set them up a little pen outside and where they're with your hens. And I'm sorry if I keep saying just hens. I don't have any roosters. I can't have them, so I am also including roosters or cockerels in this. I just don't remember to include them because I don't have any. You're going to want to let them be outside wherever your hens and your roosters are going to be most of the day. I don't mean put them out there with no top on them so that a hawk can come down and pick them off. You know, be out there with them, or have some sort of covered, area where they're safe. After that, I will expand their area. And I fortunately have a little side yard. That's what I'm sitting in right now. My youngsters are out right now, so I'm out here with them, keeping an eye on them. But I will fence off, and maybe you can see it, this X pin that's here. It runs from their coop all the way over to the fence. I have fenced them off an entire area over here. And then as soon as they start to become comfortable in their area, and they start to get a little bit of size on them, that's when I start the introductions. But in the meantime, I do things that are going to create some pleasant experiences together, but where nobody can get hurt. As soon as they're old enough to start coming out in this area, and this is how I've pretty much always done this, then I will, that right there is their dust bath that I've given to the youngsters. I put that out right beside the fence, because my big girls have a dust bath that they created right outside the fence. So they'll come over and they'll start dust bathing, and I have that right up close to the fence, and it gives the illusion that they're taking a dust bath together, even though they can't really actually be together. They have been doing that now for a couple of weeks, and that is creating this connection between the two flocks. I also, every single day, will bring them out something that they love to eat, whether it's boiled eggs or, corn, something that's one of their absolute favorite treats, and I sprinkle it on the ground, inside and outside of this area, so that they're all eating something that they absolutely love together, and no one can get hurt. If you rush this process, somebody's gonna get hurt, or even if they don't really get hurt, it just creates these bad connections between them, because a hen, trust me, is going to take advantage. If she can bully something smaller than her, she's going to do it. Hens can be really, really brutal. And I'm sorry, I'm having to get my cup out of the way because these little youngsters will be drinking my water in 2 seconds. So you're going to want to create as many good memories for them as you possibly can. Now, once they hit about 10 weeks old, and that's where we're at right now, they're almost the same size. Their voices are starting to change, and I think that makes a difference also when the hens are hearing them sound the same and they're not doing those little peep peeps like they do when they're little tiny youngsters. Then they're a little bit more on a level playing field. And then I start to bring the hens in one at a time, and that is what we're going to do. We're going to start with that today. And I bring in my least controversial hens first, and that's not necessarily the one at the bottom of the pecking order. That is all, I would say, probably at least 50% of the time, that's going to be your worst option, because that particular hen knows her place there. Now she's going to have an opportunity to be a little bit of a assertive figure or a little bit of a bully with your youngsters. So I would not necessarily start with your lowest in the pecking order hen, but just, one of the hens that you see that gets along with everybody. Zadie gets along with everybody. Charlotte gets along with everybody. She can be a little bit of a bully, surprisingly, on the roost, but in general, she gets along with everybody. Ella gets along with everybody. So I'm going to probably start with those three. And then once they have come in, milled around, I don't push it with the hens either. If they want back out, I let them go right back out. But the good thing is, that also helps to level the playing field, is this entire area has been blocked off from my hens for probably close to a month, if not already a month. So they don't really see this as their territory anymore. This is the youngsters' territory now. So I'm not just throwing them out there into the yard with the big girls to where they can possibly, the hens are just definitely, and roosters too, are definitely territorial. So I'm going to be bringing them in here, and it's going to be a little more neutral territory. I start with one at a time, and then we'll do the same thing all week long, every single day, off and on. If a couple of them want to come in, if things are going well, I'll let a couple of them come in, and then we'll go from there to my, more bullies. That would be Ruby, mostly, and Isabel and Jolene. Those are my biggest bullies, probably, of anybody. So we'll get there. They'll probably be closer to the end of the week before I invite them in, and once we've sort of done introductions, 1, 2, 3, maybe even up to 5 at a time, then we'll be done with that. If, like I said, my hens want to go out of here, they can. If they want to be in here 30 seconds and go back out, I'm not going to push them and make them be in here if they do not want to be in here, because you want to make every interaction as pleasant as possible. When we hit 11 weeks is when I'm going to probably start letting them go out into the yard. So we're going to see how that goes. And right now, things have gone remarkably well with the ones that they've met, and we're going to start that process, and you'll be seeing it in just a minute. All right, we have made it to 11 weeks, and we spent the last entire week bringing hen after hen in here to hang out and get to know these guys one-on-one. Sometimes we would have 2 in here and all the way up to 5 at the same time, and everything went really, really well. We had a couple that, didn't really surprise me at their, wanting to chase the youngsters. Some of my Alice was actually one of them, and she is lowest in the pecking order, so she did not disappoint. She, thoroughly enjoyed her opportunity to bully somebody a little bit. And then Lindy, also the same. She, I think, surprises a lot of people because she's broody all the time and wants to have babies. She does not see these as her babies in any capacity, so she is not impressed with them either. And so the 2 of them just kind of chased them away. Maisie was a little bit worse. She is very, very bossy. So she, wanted to pursue them. I had to toss her back out, and we just had to take little short visits here and there. But we did that all week. And so today is the day that these youngsters are going to go out and meet all of the girls or the ladies on their turf. So fingers crossed this is going to go smoothly. All right, this is the chicks' first time just being out. So we're going to see how this goes. All right, the big girls have just realized it. Good grief, that's a lot of chickens. Oh my goodness. They are pretty big. I mean, you can barely tell who's who. They're 11 weeks old yesterday. All right. So far, so good. Now here's Ruby in the middle of them, and she is the biggest bully. So, are you being mean? Can we not? She's like me? I don't know. Run for your life, babies. Are you getting a little braver? Very close to the big girls, coming over into their territory. Come on, chicks. Not too bad, because we've got some bullies right here. Just saw Lindy take a little peck at one of them. Good job, girls. All right, Chicken Dad is giving them a treat together. We'll see how this goes. Not bad. Georgia, what are you doing over there by yourself? Well, it looks like things went really, really well for their first little visit together out in the big girls area. And so what we're going to do is, even if this went just as well every single day between now and a week from now. I'm still not going to take the brooder pen down yet, and here's why. Because my girls free range all day, and it's a very, very large area. If I can't be out here all the time, I'm not going to feel comfortable with those youngsters out here. I want them to get a little bit more size on them. And so that's another reason that I sort of make this a very slow process. So every single day between now and the time they're about 14 weeks old, this is what I'm going to be doing. When I've got a big block of time where I can come out and hang out with them and let them free range with the big girls, that's what I'll be doing. And I do spend a lot of time outside, but I unfortunately have to go in every now and then and do housework. It's never fun, but it has to be done. So during this next few weeks, that what I just showed you guys, that's what we're going to be doing. It might be for an hour at a time, it might be 30 minutes at a time, but all throughout the day, every day, I'm just going to come out when I can have a little block of time, and I'll let them out and hang out with the big girls, and that's going to start forming those connections with each other and those bonds. And then when we get about 14 weeks, that's when I'm going to take the brooder pen down, and we'll be making another entire video about that, because once there's no barrier, it kind of changes things, you know. There's that like, oh, we actually do live together sort of thing. So we'll make another video, a follow-up to this one, a part 2, I guess. So I hope you guys are enjoying our content, and if you are, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss part 2, and you get to see how things end up with them all together as one big, hopefully happy family. I'm sure they will be. Have a fantastic day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.